Hello, storygoers, and welcome back to another episode of Tales from the Cartridge, the video game storytelling podcast. I'm one of your co-hosts, Eric Penrod.
And I'm your other co-host, Ryan Bauer.
Ryan, we're going to see Spider-Man in an hour and a half. I'm so pumped.
Yes.
Cannot wait. It's so good. I don't know if it's good. I'm assuming it's good.
I'm sure it will be good.
Expectations are hard, because when you
Yeah.
have expectations, you can be so easily let down.
Yeah.
But the first movie was just so good.
Yeah. This
so
one, I'm sure, will be good as well. And if not, we will not say otherwise because that's how brains work.
My brain will tell me it was a good movie because I want it to be.
Right.
The same with Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah.
And it took 10 years to get out of that cognitive dissonance to realize it was good. Here, okay, tangent.
Yeah.
Side tangent.
Yeah,
really
yeah.
fast. I think this isn't a false memory here. I believe I never read this. I'm pretty sure I thought this. So if someone else has thought of this too, I'm sorry. We're just both very talented, smart people. I had this thing. Ryan, you saw The Dark Knight Rises, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I think... So at the end of the movie, a huge spoiler warning for a decade-old movie, okay? Here it comes. At the end of Dark Knight Rises... Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character, aka Robin, takes over the mantle as Batman, right? This dude who has no training at all to be Batman, right? I think, here's how I would have done the movie, right? I'm sure Christopher Nolan is a listener of this podcast, so
for sure.
Christopher, thank you for listening. You're great. Oppenheimer, I'm sure will be fantastic, whatever. I think when Batman gets his back broken, Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character also should have been thrown in that weird pit with Batman. And then Batman could have gotten his back refixed and then trains Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah.
Because what else are they going to do? They're going to sit in a pit all day doing nothing?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
He trains, and then they both leave, and that's where Robin becomes Robin, and then takes over the mantle as Batman. That would have been an awesome movie, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think, Chris, I know thanks for all writing in every week. We really appreciate it. I think we need to maybe do some reshoots of this older movie.
Let's do it. I'm ready. I'm ready for this. Let's reshoot this movie. Well, Ryan, you and I executive produce.
Yeah.
On The Dark Knight Rises Higher.
Yeah, Dark Knight Rises, but better.
But better. But better. No nuclear bombs this time.
Yeah. We could call it Dark Knight Rises the Snyder Cut, just because then I think it'll get good SEO. People are Googling the Snyder Cut.
Yeah. Okay. I like this. This is great.
Yeah.
With Eric and Ryan.
Yeah, with Eric and Ryan. Yeah.
Okay.
Colon with Eric and Ryan. Yeah.
But that's my spiel. If you want to reshoot the movie, let us know. We're available. Just gotta fly us out and pay for all our meals and stuff. We'll be there.
No problem. No.
Ryan, how are you? And what have you been up to? And what have you been playing?
Yeah,
let's mess this up.
It's okay. I am doing pretty well. It is a very nice, chill, rainy weekend, which are my favorite weekends. Went and got some bagels and a chai this morning, which was very nice. And just kind of hanging out and relaxing. I am getting ready to change jobs soon, which is very exciting. So I'm just kind of mentally preparing for that. And then as far as what I've been playing, a couple things here and there. Still, my partner and I are working through Tears of the Kingdom, booping all around and trying to just constantly getting distracted and not getting anything done, which is, I think, the way that game is meant to be played. Not that there's any wrong way or right way to play. Diablo 4 just came out, so I tried a little bit of that. I haven't been going too buck wild, but I've been trying a little bit of that, and that was just as fun as it was in the beta. I'm excited to play more of that. And then the new season of Destiny started a couple weeks ago, which is all underwater themed and very fun and cool, and it has strangely enough the bubble Sonic mechanics where you have a little bar that's going down and the music gets more and more intense, and then you hit a bubble and it goes whoop, and then you're fine. It's very fun and
Sonic
silly.
Mario.
Yeah, exactly. And they also added fishing, which is just wild. It's wild out here.
Weird.
It's wild out here in Destiny Land. But yeah, all kinds of fun things. Just kind of jumping between a whole bunch of very big, intense games. Thankfully, I think this is kind of the end of the games I'm super hyped for until the fall. I know Final Fantasy folks also have to deal with that, which I do not because I'm not huge into Final Fantasy. But yeah, having a great time over here.
Good.
Yeah, Eric, how are you? What have you been playing?
Before I jump into that, when you said that you were booping and bopping around Hyrule, I just had this image in my head I want to share because I want to laugh about it. I just picture like the moblins and the goblins or whatever they're called. I forget their names off the top of my head. I'm going to sound like an idiot. Just sitting by the fire and like, ugh, I'm so tired of that Link booping and bopping over Hyrule. Never know when that guy's going to come out of nowhere. And then you die. And then you come back with the Blood Moon and he just boops and bops over here again and kills us.
Yeah.
I just think it'd be so funny. That'd be hilarious.
Yeah.
I wish they had dialogue like that in the game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Miyamoto, if you're listening, as we know, Miyamoto's a listener also. I'm
Yeah.
sure. We don't know this, but we're pretty sure. So if you want us to do dialogue, Miyamoto, let us know.
Yeah. There's a couple emails we've gotten that hasn't been signed Miyamoto, but we know.
We know. Did I write it to us? Yeah, 100%. But we're pretty sure Miyamoto would have written the same thing too.
Yeah.
No, I'm good. It's also, like you said, Ryan, it's a rainy, cold weekend, but we're making the best out of it. I watched Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse yesterday to prepare for today, so I'm super psyched for it. As for what I've been playing just, honestly, Tears of the Kingdom every chance I get. I take my Switch to work just in the off chance I get cancellations and I can have an hour to play Zelda, which has been great. My coworkers come in to say hi and they just see me playing my Switch with the look on my face that says "Leave me alone." I have to say, I'm booping and bopping. You know what I mean?
Booping and bopping.
Booping and bopping. It's great. I love it. And I have clients who come in and just sit down and just want to talk. They're doing well, so they just want to talk about Zelda. And so we get to and they get to direct the session, so we just talk about Zelda. It's great. So yeah, that's all really good. And we also been playing Plate Up with my fiance.
Yeah.
We were just playing a little bit ago. We're on day 11. This is our first time getting to day 11.
Very exciting.
We're thriving with salads over here. It's great. We're chopping lettuce, chopping tomatoes. I'm using my water basin as storage for dirty plates until I put them in the dishwasher.
Perfect.
We got a process.
Yeah.
It
sounds beautiful.
Working well.
Yeah.
Yeah. We just started playing seriously yesterday. So to be on day 11 already, we're just feeling great. You know what I
That's
mean?
pretty good. That's very good. Yeah. You guys are
it's the Overcooked.
Some Overcooked pros. Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
So that helps. Yeah. It is much more chill than Overcooked. So if you can make it through Overcooked, I think you'll be all right.
I think so. Yeah. When you're 100% Overcooked, I feel like all these dating shows are fine and all. I mean, they're not. They're pretty toxic.
Yeah.
But like, let's be real here. I think we just set two couples up and say, hey, listen, you're not sure if you should be together? Play Overcooked.
Yeah.
Right? And then your true colors will come out. Either you'll come together as a couple or you will separate and you won't talk to each other anymore.
Yeah. No, that's a good.
At least you know.
Yeah. That's maybe some good a good service you could offer in the future of hey, I'm not sure how I feel about this person. I think it's going well, but I don't know. I was like, I know exactly what you guys need. Come in and we'll do a couple session. It's just like setting them up with Overcooked and like helping them talk through those conflicts as they're playing, as they start yelling, and I think that would be really good. Yeah.
They sit down and start talking like, oh, no, we're not sharing feelings yet. You're going to play Overcooked first.
Yeah. I need to get a baseline of where you two are at, but see if this is going to be worth my time. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It should be worth my time. It's all about me. I need to make sure I'm going to be invested in this. Yeah, that'd be great. That's a new therapy in the future. We'll do D&D one-half therapy, which actually is a thing.
Yeah.
And then we'll do Overcooked therapy.
Perfect, which is your new pilot program.
Yes, yeah. Come and ruin your relationship with me.
There's enough co-op games out there between like Overcooked and Plate Up, and then something like It Takes Two. Like you could do like a whole bunch of co-op games that you just like sit down and play together, and then as you're playing, the conflicts that come out of that, you as the therapist help them understand why they're having those conflicts, and maybe they need to communicate better. Maybe you need to. It looks you really need to talk about like you're expecting this person to do something that you haven't communicated. Let's you know what I mean. I think there's something there.
Yeah.
I think there's something.
You're actually right, Ryan. You're actually probably. I mean, no joke right now. I know we're being fun a lot, but actually, you probably could justify that.
Yeah.
Therapeutically, it does sound right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's actually a really good idea.
Yeah.
One day.
One day.
I'll open up for practice. Yeah. It'll be great.
Perfect.
Storygoers, we hope that you're doing well. We hope that you enjoy our last episode of Super Mario 64. It's been a huge hit. I don't know. There's some of you who are still listening to the different parts of it, which kills me a little bit inside because they're just so not as good as what we're doing now. But it's okay if that floats your boat. It's almost a Mario pun from the floating the boat part of the story. Not intentional. But we hope, nonetheless, that you're enjoying those episodes. We put a poll on that episode for Mario, polling people on if they want us to continue the story, build the story out more, so we're covering every single world at least once in that story of Mario 64, and overwhelmingly, the majority of you have said yes. So I think as time goes on, Sporadically, we'll add a few worlds into the story, build it out more. Since I've re-recorded it, it'll be easier to put those parts in and make it more fun. So we just have like a 4-hour long bedtime story.
Incredible.
But you know what? Hey, teach their own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give the people what they want.
Yeah. 4-hour bedtime stories. Yeah, they go to sleep for like 7 hours. They wake up and the story's still on, and it's only on like the basement level of the story.
Yeah.
As always, storygoers, you can email us your thoughts, feelings, and perspectives to talesfromthecartridge@gmail.com. All of the E's are threes. You can also find us on our Instagram. Also on Spotify now with all of our little questionnaires we're putting on those. We're going to have a questionnaire on this one too. So if you scroll down right now on your Spotify, you'll see the question. I don't know what it's going to be yet. We'll have to think about it. But please, that's honestly probably the best way to engage with us now, which is really cool because the majority of you listen to us on Spotify. And if not, then just write into us, of course. Or you can also leave us a voicemail or text at our toll-free number at 207-494-4334. And you'll read and listen to all those episodes in the future. That number, Ryan, our Tales number, used to belong to a cooling service, like a cooler, like an air cooler service or AC service. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Yes. And you're probably wondering how I know that because the majority of people who call are asking for me to help them. With their cooler. I look at the messages, and they'll transcribe it for you, and it's like, hey, do you still do like AC service? And I'm just like, they're not listening to Tales.
Yeah. Now's the time of year when it's probably popping off. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and of course, sorry, almost done, Storygoers. Of course, you can also donate to our super cool Patreon for just $1. You get our exclusive scripts, as well as the warm, fuzzy feelings of supporting us, your favorite podcast ever. Rightfully so. Christopher Nolan, we're looking at you. If you don't mind rating us on Spotify or Apple or any service you're on, listening to us, that'd be super duper duper cool. And that is my spiel for the beginning of this. Ryan, as always, DLC time.
Yep.
We're gonna do a character wheel.
Yeah.
Which is so much fun.
The best.
The best time. And would you like to kind of dive into today's topic?
Yeah. So character wheel. If folks don't know or just joining us, we spin some wheels. So this character wheel, we're going to be focusing on relationships. It's summer. We were kind of thinking about what we were going to do for the summer. Wedding season is in the summer, and as we got to that, we're like, let's spin some wheels and make some magical partnerships that may lead to marriage. So if you're just joining us for the first time, what a wild episode to join us on! But this is a DLC where we spin some wheels and then we put two characters against each other in this kind of battle royale. I guess these are going to be two pairings or some pairings together.
Two pairings, yeah. It's the first time you're pairing people together to.
Yeah, so we'll have two partnerships, either heteronormative or not, and they're going to be seeing which relationship we think will be the most successful and why. And then at the very end, we'll have these three winners of those first rounds, and we'll have the finals and see who is the best relationship that we have spun. I'm really curious to see how this is going to play out, and if at any point we're going to break up relationships to form new ones and see how that all shakes out. So I'm really excited to see how we shake this one up, because these character wheels always get very fun and wild.
Sonic the Hedgehog is totally a cheater. He'll cheat on Toxic. No, this is the first time I've ever done anything like this for our character wheel. And if you are like, whoa, this is too much, go back and listen to our first character wheels. It's easier to kind of get into it. But if not, this is going to be great. So I'm going to start spinning the character wheel, and Ryan will do you won't see the story goers, but Ryan's going to write down the pairings as we go about them. So without further ado, let's spin the wheel. Wheel spinning. Hopefully the sound effects are going in, as I always say every episode when this happens, with awkward sounds on our end. The first of the first pair is Zagreus from Hades.
A nice one. A nice start.
Zagreus is good. And Zagreus is going to be paired up with... Stopping... Travis Touchdown from No More Heroes. Yikes.
Oof.
All right, the next pair is wheel spinning. Slowing down. Sackboy from Little Big Planet.
Okay.
Sackboy is paired up with...
Okay.
Yikes. Sackboy we confirmed a long time ago. It was very, very small.
Very tiny.
So it'll be interesting, yes. Okay, Ratchet and Clank, open relationship.
Okay. They're a group deal.
They're a group deal.
So they're going to be a throuple here.
They're going to be. Who would have thought? I never thought. I didn't think we'd have a throuple.
A very, very Sony throuple there.
But yeah. All right, and then for the last pair we have here is Tracer from Overwatch.
Okay.
And this feels spinning one more time to pair our last couple of this first round. And that person is Solid Snake
Okay.
in the Metal Gear Solid series. Now, we know that canonically a lot of these characters, so like for example Tracer, so normally I don't think Tracer would be in a relationship with Solid Snake. However, just for the sake of this
we can take that into account as we're thinking through this decision. But
that's true. Yes.
We'll see. I think
not to say we're not pushing any kind of narrative. Is what I'm trying to say.
Right.
You know
exactly.
what I mean?
Yeah. We're not trying to take away Tracer's gender identity or sexuality. In this situation, we're just
I'm trying to be respectful, but just having fun. I guess is what I'm trying.
Yeah. And I think there's something to be said about like, through all of these conversations, like Tracer and Solid like are starting some form of relationship. Maybe it may not be as successful because we know who Tracer is attracted to, but relationships happen, lieu of feelings and lieu of those types of things all the time. They're not always the healthiest, and we can kind of talk about that as we get into it.
Yeah, a lot of couple stuff in this episode, right? Even before this happened. Yeah. All right.
We always bring our like Tales mini therapy to every single conversation that we have.
Every single conversation, yes. Yep, 100%. Okay, so the first partnership we have here is Zagreus and Travis Touchdown.
Yeah.
Now, as between the two of us, I played No More Heroes a lot, as we talked about.
Yep.
I'm not sure if I'm proud of that or not, but we know that Travis Touchdown is very vulgar.
Yeah.
Pretty disgusting, right? Like pretty awful human when you think about it. Like really enjoys killing people, but has a weird moral compass.
Yeah,
but it's very sporadic. You know what I mean? It's interesting because I'm thinking about this, and at first I heard this couple, and I was like, oh, this is definitely not going to work, right? Because Zagreus is kind of more calm, more patient.
Yeah.
However, also, I would say enjoys chaos and not carnage, but just fighting, because like that's literally what he does the best in this whole game is that he fights through hell to get to the surface. Yeah. So really, when you think about it, Zagreus and Travis Touchdown actually have a lot in common. They really enjoy fighting. Yeah. Like they together would probably do very well fighting with one another to get to some kind of conclusion. So they actually could work very well as a partnership. And you know how like the whole like opposites attract thing? Yeah. Zagreus' ability to kind of cope and regulate himself might actually go well with Travis, as well as Travis's like kind of like just kind of sporadic outgoing nature might be kind of fun for Zagreus to kind of vicariously live through, or not vicariously, but just kind of be part of, right? So they actually might complement each other a little bit, kind of fill in the gaps from one another. So I mean, I actually went into this thinking, no, this is a horrible relationship. I actually kind of feel like they could be actually a strong couple.
Yeah, I think there certainly could be some success here. They have, like you said, this common hobby that they both enjoy of like fighting and taking on the world. And I think like Travis Touchdown, from my understanding, is pretty, boisterous and intense, but not too out there from some of Zagreus' other relationships with Meg, right? Is Meg the Fury?
Yep,
Meg. So I think like there's certainly something there where I think Travis or Zagreus is more attracted to folks who are like a bit stronger, a bit more intense. I don't think that's out of the ordinary from what we've seen in the game. So yeah, I certainly think there's something there. I think like it'd be interesting to see like long term, like once they finish whatever like however they met or whatever situation they're in, I think they would be most successful when they're like fighting towards something together. When that ends, I don't know how like in the downtime that would shake out, but it'd be definitely like better suited than you'd first expect.
Yes, I agree. For some reason, if I were to rate this, I almost think we should rate this.
Oh yeah, we can rate it. Yeah,
you want to?
Yeah, let's give him a rating. Do we want to rate it in like? So we obviously are going to put some type of numerical value. Do we want to put like like 1 to 10 or like 1 to 10 but like 10 months, 10 years? Like do we want to add like a time, or do we just want to add like a numerical value to the success of that?
I almost want to give it like a I almost want to rate it like on 1 to 5, but also do time. Like I could see this lasting like 2 years.
Cool. Kind of okay. Yeah. All right. So let's. I think that feels good, and maybe eventually we'll come up with a system that will be only in this episode and not carry over to any other episode. As useful as that is, like maybe like a 3 and a 4 is like 5 years, and maybe like a 5 is like 10. You know what I mean? We can see how that shakes out as we feel it out, because this is all nonsense. Okay. So whatever we say is kind of how it goes.
Hopefully it's not frustrating.
Yeah, sure, it's fine. And if people feel strongly, they have ways to communicate with us on their feelings, and we would love to hear that.
Yes, 100%. I don't know about you, Ryan. So say we give it a 1 to 5 rating. Sure. I kind of see this this relationship is a solid 3 for me.
Okay.
I see this lasting 2 to 3 years.
Okay. So you were thinking 2 to 3 years. I was feeling like a 2.5. So that feels like a pretty similar. So maybe we split the difference and do like 2.75. Does that feel okay?
Sure.
And we feel like this would last like 2 to 3 years. Okay, all right. But like, do you think it's a positive 2 to 3 years? Do you think like do you feel like it's like 2 years of great and then a year of kind of messy, like, okay, cool.
Like all we have in common is fighting. You're frustrating me, because they're both kind of like flirty with multiple people.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So they'd be flirting with other people. I can see jealousy getting in there.
Is Zacharias allowed to leave hell?
Technically, no, he dies.
Hades, right? Yeah, so I think, or I guess it's not called hell, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. The underworld, whatever. Yeah, that might either like would be
put a damper.
Well, it could be, or it could be a situation where they have a more open relationship where like, hey, true. You're in your world, I'm in my world. We care about each other, we support each other, but we have our own things going on. And again, I don't know how successful that would be long term, but I could see it like shaking out that way too.
Yeah, I can see them doing it for like 2-3 years and be like, you know what, this isn't working, but I see you as a great friend now. We're just in 2 different places in our life, literally.
Sure. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You're in space killing aliens, and I'm trapped in the underworld, hanging out dealing with my family issues. Yeah, certainly. Yeah. Okay, that feels good. I feel good about that.
I mean, Sackboy, Ratchet and Clank. Right?
I think this is like a really sweet little trio here.
Wow.
I think like I think we have like Ratchet and Clank, really close friends, and now or have decided to like have it be something more in their partnership, and then they bring in this like little tiny being who they take care of, and maybe it's more plutonic than maybe Sackboy would like, or I'm not really sure how it all fits, but I think this is like a really charming little group of folks who you're just hanging out and just want to do go on adventures together and like have different skills. And Sackboy is very tiny, but Clank's not huge. Like, there's like a size. You have
super tiny.
Sackboy is very tiny.
Tall.
Yeah, Sackboy is like a couple inches tall. But I think like there's like there still could be something there. I think like Ratchet and Clank have their house, and when they go, and Sackboy just is like roaming around going adventures in their house. I think I see this as being, and maybe I'm thinking this more too platonic, because I think this would be a very successful platonic experience.
Right.
Where I don't know if it were to move to a relationship, how that would go. But I think there's certainly something there.
I surprisingly disagree.
I would love to hear more.
I think that there's 2 things that come to me. One, typically, I don't care about size, right? Size isn't a big deal. So some people it is, right? This is literally a significant size difference, right?
Yeah.
And I also think for Sackboy, who is also like struggles because he can't really talk, as far as I know.
Yeah.
Whereas Ratchet and Clank can. But like just a really significant language barrier there. And Ratchet and Clank are so much closer. I can see Sackboy just being super jealous about that. Because almost just like a being that is just like is very emotionally based. To kind of convey what's happening around them for Sackboy. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I can see that.
I can see that breaking that off and just Sackboy just disappearing one day, and Ratchet and Clank have no idea what's happening. I also feel like Ratchet and Clank would make a weird couple too, for some reason.
Yeah, I mean, I think the part of the challenge is that we've really only seen them as really close friends, not anything more. Nor have they at any point indicated they're interested in anything more than being really close friends. And in some situations, like family to each other, which feels a little bit weird to kind of put that spin on it. So I mean, we could also reframe it as like Ratchet and Clank are both separately dating Sackboy, but they're not dating each other, and that's how the throuple works. Or like just Clank is, but like there's certainly something else there, but that would require like, some like mental hoops we'd have to jump through to make that happen, which maybe speaks to the challenge of this pairing.
Oh man, How would you rate it, Ryan? If you were to rate it, what comes to you?
So initially I was similarly like a 2.5 to a 2, I would say. I think throughout our conversation I'm probably closer to like a 1 to 0.75 type of thing.
Oh,
there.
wow. Lower than I thought it would be.
Yeah, I just think like again, it's hard for me to work through. I really like, I would love a game or like some type of experience with these three all working together on like a cool adventure.
Me too.
But I think that feels very different than being in like a relationship where you have to hear each other and help each other and support each other. And I think there is a weight to Ratchet and Clank's relationship, like you're saying, that Sackboy would be hard to pierce through.
Yeah.
I think. As much as I think it would be, I think it'd be a great experience initially, or they would go on some fun adventures together.
Yeah, I can see this lasting. It's almost like an experimental phase for like less than a year. Year tops.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would give like a 1.5 stars in my mind.
Okay. So we're like feeling like a 1. Then if we were to split the difference there. Okay. And you said how, like less than a year?
A year tops. You know what I mean? I feel like this would be like an experimental thing that lasts maybe a year. I don't see it going past that personally. Do you?
Yeah, I think that feels good. I think I can't imagine. I don't think maybe it would last even that long. Because of the situation, but who knows? I think 1 being less than a year feels fine, and as far as our like rating scale here,
yes,
because it's almost feeling like the 1 to 5 is not a 1-to-1, but scaling years wise, which I think makes sense. But then 5, I guess, would maybe be more long term. Yeah,
like long term, they'll make it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right, and then our last partnership is Tracer and Solid Snake.
Yeah,
did you play Metal Gear Solid 5, Ryan?
I didn't. No.
I'm a little sad because I don't even know if they have this person on our character wheel. I should add them. There's a character in Metal Gear Solid, named Quiet. Mm-hmm. Really cool female character. She doesn't ever talk for some reason. I forget why, but she's like super cool, super helpful in the game. One of the best allies we have in the game. At least I thought so. I really wish it was her instead of Solid Snake. I would like 100% Tracer and Quiet. 100%. Yeah. That is the coolest relationship by far. But that's not what we have here. I digress. But if Tracer was, I think, we know Tracer's not. So with Tracer, we know that Tracer is attracted to female presenting individuals. For the sake of this argument, we're going to say that for whatever reason, Solid Snake just fits the bill. Not sure why, right? Or I mean, should we even do that? I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, I think I don't think we need to. I think like we take this at face value, and I think there are some things that they might similar to like Sackboy and Ratchet and Clank, who Sackboy doesn't is more of an asexual being who doesn't really present for either gender. I think, and we don't like Ratchet and Clank. I think like. We can take their what they would like into account as we're making these decisions, and I think even outside of, and I'd love to hear your thoughts more, even outside of who they are attracted to, I think there are some challenges here within their relationship with these two. Even outside of that, like ignoring that, not that we should ignore that, but taking that into account, I think we'll bump it down from like if they were perfect, then it would bump it from like a 5 to a 4. Or something like that, but a 5 to a 3. But I think we can still like talk about all the other things and then just have that be a part of the conversation because that is who Tracer is.
Yeah, okay. You know what? And I think you're totally 100% right on that. I would say with that in regard, not to force relationships then, because I feel that might be problematic in that same regard, right? Even though this is very silly, obviously. I would say then, based on this dynamic, I see Tracer and Solid Snake as like super good friends.
For sure.
Like people who are really good. They're both kind of workaholics.
Yeah.
You know, they're both kind of like really dedicated to what they do. I think they're super good friends. I'd give this like half a star because like they're not gonna take this seriously. It wouldn't really happen. You know what I mean? For 0 stars, I don't know.
Yeah, I feel very similarly. I don't know Solid Snake as well, but I do know that they are like always about the mission, always about the job.
Yes, always.
And Tracer similarly like cares a lot about their mission, and I think like if they were on a mission together, they could become very close and something that could look like a relationship from the outside. Possibly. But I don't like long term. I don't know how sustainable that is because if you're both super focused on work, it's hard to have anything meaningful. Even like between friends, right? It's hard to have anything super meaningful.
Yeah, I think I would give this a 0 star. I don't think it's even going to happen. It's not going to take off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. So with that, storygoers, it looks like
we don't even have to make a decision here.
I know. It's actually kind of nice when we rate it
Yeah,
like this.
yeah.
The best relationship we have here is Zagreus from Hades and
Wild.
Travis Touchdown
Wild.
from No More Heroes winning round 1
Good job.
of our wow, good job. Good relationship. Good job, guys. Now, granted, we only gave them two and 3/4 of a star.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we'll see how this goes. So I'm going to go back to the character wheel now.
Yeah,
We're
it's
gonna
almost
spin
like
for round 2.
if you just pick people at random to match them together, it may not work, and that's okay.
It may not work, and that's okay. You know what? That's okay. It is what it is.
Yeah.
This is silly and weird.
It's silly
but
and
it's
weird and fun. Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of silly and weird and fun, we have Phoenix Wright as our first
Love
person
that.
in the relationship here. We're going to spin again. We're spinning. Our next person, who's matched up with Phoenix Wright is Mega Man. So a very, very interesting couple right there. Okay, we're going to keep going. We're going to keep spinning. The next person in the newest couple in this round 2 is Cal Kestis from Jedi Fallen Order, as well as Jedi Survivor, which I still have yet to beat because Tears of the Kingdom has ruined my life in the best way possible. And person has matched up with Cal Kestis is Cole McGrath from Infamous.
Cool. What a bunch of cool, beefy boys.
What a bunch of cool... bunch of cool, heroic, beefy boys.
Yeah.
And then the last of our couples begins with the Wanderer from Shadow of the Colossus.
No, they are dedicated.
They are very dedicated, very loyal, I would say. With the last person being matched up with the Wanderer being Bayonetta.
That, I think so, has been my very favorite. Not to show any bias, but what an incredible pairing.
What a pair. Aggro! Aggro! I should put Aggro the horse in here.
You should.
That'd be great. Oh, I love Aggro the horse. Okay, so first relationship we have here is Phoenix Wright and Mega Man.
Yeah.
What a pairing.
What a wild
What a couple you look at and you say, this is interesting.
This is
right?
Successful lawyer, robot boy. It is in some ways problematic unless we assume that Mega Man at this point is 18 years old. He's lived a happy childhood of being a robot boy and is now an adult who can consent to. Maybe look up all.
We're gonna look this up. I'm gonna Google this right now. We're gonna just general Mega Man age. Mega Man is Google saying he's 36 years old. I don't know if that's
right. I think he might be like older, but also like built to look like a robot boy.
Is that right?
I don't know. Weird. I don't know if that's right. I have not played. I've only played the Battle Network games, and those did not give me anything about Mega Man's lifestyle.
This is 2 years ago on the official this is on the Mega Man Reddit. This person has a theory that in Mega Man 9, that would put him at 14 to 13 years old. So I almost want to just say this would never even take off. Yeah, like maybe this is not. Save us. We have a lawyer and a non-able to consent robot being. So I think maybe this is another 0 star. We could have said Mega Man X, but that is not within the bounds of this game because Mega Man X seems older. But that we didn't put Mega Man X. We put Mega Man. All right, so very It's almost you know what it is, Ryan. You know what happened here in my mind. Phoenix Wright tried a dating service. He saw Mega Man. And thought, whoa, this is awesome. Met up, realized Mega Man was actually Mega Boy, and said, absolutely not. I'm not here. Right. Never happened.
Yeah, and I think might be. There could be like a very cool like mentor apprentice relationship where like Phoenix Wright is teaching Mega Man law. You know what I mean? Like he's teaching him to be a lawyer. I think that could be cool. I think that would be a fun experience.
He sues Dr. Wily instead of destroying space.
Because like it or like works on like we robots need to have rights, and this Dr. Wily is a big goon. Phoenix Wright, will you help me take him down? And you have this cool law partnership. I would be down for that.
And then Mega Man goes, objection! And he like points his blaster and just blasts the courtroom.
And then he gets
That
taken
would be
away because
cool.
that is super against the law. And
Yeah.
then Phoenix Wright has to
Incontent.
defend him for that lash out. It could be, I think there's a really good story
This
there.
is a good game.
Yeah.
This is a good game. Let's release it on the original DS.
That's phenomenal.
So, yeah, we're going to just... Phoenix Wright, Mega Man, 0 stars.
Yeah.
This is not going to happen.
Yeah.
Phoenix Wright got catfished.
Yeah.
So we're going to move on. Partnership 2,
Love this
much
one,
more
too.
interesting.
Yeah.
Very cool. Cal Kestis and Cole McGrath.
Yeah.
So we know Cole. So Cole McGrath, if you're not aware, is from the Infamous series. He was in Infamous 1 and Infamous 2. Really, I think we're going to do the canon version of Cole McGrath, if that's cool, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Which is the good Cole McGrath. He is a hero. He saves people. He has electric-based powers as well as ice powers. This is canonically within the good realm of Infamous 2, where he gets ice powers. Spoiler alert for Infamous 2. Big spoiler alert. So if you don't want to listen anymore, just like skip 10 seconds. Cole McGrath dies at the end of Infamous 2. He dies a hero. He dies saving the world.
Yeah.
And he has to in order to do that. So he's very selfless. He is kind of like in Infamous 1, kind of just like a bare bones character, but Infamous 2 is much more... Well, actually, you know what? I take that back. I'm a liar, because Infamous 1... These are all Infamous spoilers at this point. If you haven't played this game, you're far behind. But I mean, who am I to say? Who am I to judge?
Yeah. We
right?
did an episode on the first Infamous, right?
Yeah,
Go
we
check
did.
it
You
out.
should listen.
Go take
Go
a
check
sec.
it out.
Go listen, and then come back.
Come on back. Cole is much more. He's much more developed than I gave him credit for. Like his partner, unfortunately, dies. You know, he has a whole lot of emotional turmoil with the big baddie in that game, as well as into Infamous 2, as he builds character relationships. So he tries his best. He looks very gruff and very standoffish, but Cole really tries his best to do what's right, not what he does what he needs to do, not what he wants to do. Yeah. And that's kind of what good Cole is all about.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Cal, Ryan? How would you describe Cal?
It's a little bit challenging here, Eric, because there is the Cal that you probably know, and then there is the Cal that I know from his experience in
right.
Jedi Survivor, and the really what I thought was some really cool character growth that happened over the course of that game. So I think if we maybe just focus on, like, I don't want to spoil, this game just came out like 2 months ago. I don't want to spoil anything with that. But I think they both have very similar discipline in their worldview of, like, I will put others before myself. Like, that was like, good or bad, like, Cal Kestis was indoctrined with that ideal as a very young age and has brought that with him and is willing to put himself in danger to save others. And I think in that they have some common ground. They also both deal with a lot of, like, survivor guilt, right? Of being I survived and other people didn't, and is that how do I work through that?
Yeah.
And that is the same way in which Cal and what is her name? From Jedi Fallen Order.
The teacher?
No.
Or the lady? Ryan's Googling this, but really fast story goes while he figures out the name of this character that some of you probably already know because you're playing Jedi Survivor. Before anyone comes at us, Cal Kestis is 18 at the start of Jedi Fallen Order. So we are okay here.
Yeah,
he's 23 in Survivor. So if you really want to, we can go with that route. But just to make sure.
Marin is her name. Like, similarly, like, has survived the loss of everybody that she knows and cares about, and, like, there is some bonding that happens in the first game there, and I think you have a very similar experience where Cal and Cole are both dealing with that survival guilt, dealing with, like, the weight of, if I don't do it, who will? And putting themselves in harm's way and not really thinking about their happiness and future for others. And I think that is both a really strong thing that will bring them close together and they'll align, but also will make it really hard to, like, have something long term because they are constantly giving up their own personal relationship to go, like, save the world or save a planet or save the, you know what I mean? And I think that makes it hard. I think they would grow really close in those moments they were able to come together. But I think those might be few and far between. But I really like this pairing.
Me too. If it wasn't for that, Ryan, I think you're 100% right. If it wasn't for that, I would be like 5+.
Yeah.
Like, or 5 stars. Like, it's like, you know, forever. Like, they're going to be together. It's like, they can work so well together. Yep. Their powers kind of work well together in a way.
Yeah.
I would see them supporting each other and being that kind of emotional rock they need for one another. I really like this pair. I feel like this is one, Ryan, you're probably right. I feel like the circumstances of the world and the threats that they face would probably hurt their relationship in some way. I'd probably give it like a 4-star then.
Yeah,
I think
like
4 solid good years.
Yeah, I think it's like there's like a tragedy to their relationship in that if only they existed in a world that didn't need to be saved, like then it would be good. But also they wouldn't be the people who they are if they didn't exist in that world. Like what this really beautiful, like if only the world was different, but then we wouldn't be the same people and we wouldn't work as well. Like it's this really sad, perfect pairing of because the world we exist in, we have to be this, and that's what we would see in each other. But because of that, we can't put ourselves first. Yeah, it's just really cool. What a great pairing. But yeah, I think 4 years only because of they got stuff to do.
Okay, so then our last partnership,
what a
the
team
Wanderer from Shadow of the Colossus and Bayonetta from Bayonetta and Bayonetta 2.
Yeah.
The Wanderer doesn't really talk a whole lot, but man, is he loyal?
Yeah.
He's a loyal dude. He has a beautiful horse named Agro. And it's all he says. Agro.
Yeah.
Agro. But man, Agro loves. I mean, Agro. I feel like the way animals interact with a person shows the kind of person that individual is, right?
Sure, yeah.
Agro loves the Wanderer.
Yeah.
Because the Wanderer is such a good person to Agro. So I feel like the Wanderer, and we know that the Wanderer is very selfless, right? So again, spoilers for Shadow of the Colossus. You really should play it. I need to play the remake. I've only never played the original, but we know the Wanderer is sacrificing himself essentially to bring back the person that he loves. Which is just the most selfless thing one can do, really. When you think about it.
Yeah.
Give up your life for someone else is very selfless. So yeah, Wanderer, good dude. He, I would say, makes questionable decisions, right?
Yeah.
Instead of moving on and grieving and trying to improve his life, he seeks to find unhealthy ways to cope, such as bringing back the dead, and killing giants who really are just doing their thing. They're not doing anything wrong. They're just living their life, living their truth. So kind of problematic when you think about it. The more I talk about the Wanderer, the more problematic I'm realizing.
They're a really complex character, which is great. Yeah.
And you know what? And I'll be honest with you, Ryan, I don't really know a whole lot about Bayonetta. I just know that Bayonetta is kind of that person who's like, I don't need no one. Like I am great on my own, confident, strong. Like I almost see I almost see the Wanderer having a sword running at somebody, and then Bayonetta's just flipping and dipping and just. It doesn't really need the Wanderer. Essentially.
Yeah. I mean, similar to you, I don't know Bayonetta in other than like these bits and pieces, but I think it could go one of two ways based on my understanding. Either they completely write the Wanderer off because they're far too needy and want and need too much, or they're super into this person being obsessed with them, and whether they invest back or not is kind of up to them. But again, I don't know Bayonetta's character. I think there's a world in which the Wanderer like goes to Bayonetta to like resurrect their dead partner, and then that's how they meet, and there could be something interesting there. And Bayonetta's like, I'll do that, but you got to do this, and this, and sees how capable they are. There's a world in which I think there's a story there that could be really interesting and cool. But yeah, it's a tricky partnership. But a fun one. I think that would be a fun one.
Sorry, I'm very excited because I think we hit the nail on the head, right? I think the Wanderer is someone who's stuck in a past relationship that he wishes continued, trying to start a new relationship with someone who knows that he's not invested in this as much as he could be or probably should be to make it work. I think he's stuck in a past. He's fixated on an ex and not on his current relationship. I'm curious what you would give this as a star ranking, right? Or how long do you think?
Yeah, it's hard for me to separate how successful I actually think this would be and how cool I think it would be for this to happen.
It would be a cool idea.
It'd be a cool story. Yeah. I think probably like a 2.5 to 3, because I think, like you said, I think the Wanderer doesn't have that emotional availability to take on something new. And I think Bayonetta probably doesn't have time to waste on somebody who doesn't have that emotional availability. I would assume. I would love some Bayonetta experts to jump in here and help us out.
Yeah,
but,
please.
That would be my assumption.
I was going to give this a 1 star.
Wow, okay.
I think Bayonetta's a very strong, confident person. I kind of see them just seeing the Wanderer like, this is not, you are so fixated on your ex, this is not going to work for us.
Yeah.
Like, I need someone that sees my worth, and I don't think it's like you seem more into your horse, if anything, than me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And granted, Aggro is a great guy.
Great
Aggro
horse.
Aggro is a great horse. You know what I mean? So like, well deserved. You know, but at the same time, not the best for their relationship.
So, are you comfortable with me splitting the difference and doing like 1, 2, 5? Like maybe
100%.
they make it a year, maybe a little more.
Probably like somewhere between 1 to 2 years.
Okay.
I can see that.
Okay.
I think I see more on the lower end, but to be fair, kind of split in the middle. Yeah, that
Cool.
sounds good to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So
Wow,
we
there
have
we go.
Phoenix Down, Mega Man 0. We have Bayonetta Wanderer at 1.2 stars. But Cole McGrath and Cal Kestis at 4 stars. We're thinking 4 years of solid relationship building until one of them probably croaks because they sacrificed themselves doing something important.
Yeah.
So yeah. That's our winner of round 2, Cal Kestis and Cole McGrath. Interesting. These couples are very wild.
Yeah.
All right, we're on to round 3. We're gonna spin the wheel. It's spinning out. Brian, it's gonna be really hard. Zacharias and Travis Touchdown versus Cole McGrath and Cal Kestis, and then one other couple.
Yeah.
It's gonna be crazy. So our first person in this relationship is Chris Walker from Outlast. And if you don't know who Chris Walker is from Outlast, he is the giant human being, naked human being, by the way, with, I don't think he has a nose, who is chasing the main characters at the whole game. Very
It's
scary.
going to be there's a very specific individuals who I think this would
Very.
work with, and other than that, it's going to be very bad.
Yes.
Like
yes.
maybe negative stars.
100%. It was almost that person, Ryan. And then we have Captain Falcon.
I love that. I love that so much.
All right, we're going to click again for the next person in the second pairing. So Chris Walker and Captain Falcon. Very interesting. The next person is Crash Bandicoot,
Okay.
who is then going to be paired up with... Spinning. Paired up with Sub-Zero from Mortal Kombat.
All right.
And we have one more pairing to go. This is the last pair of the episode. So the next pair starts with, wow, these are the weirdest ones. Abe from Oddworld. If you don't know who Abe from Oddworld is, it was a newer game of Oddworld recently.
Yeah, there was not too long ago.
Yeah. But maybe Google him because he's a little interesting. I don't think they can talk because their mouths are... No, they can. They can.
They can, yeah.
Yeah. And then the last person matched up with Abe is... so weird. Princess Peach from Super Mario.
Okay. All right.
These are these are the weirdest ones we have.
The weirdest ones.
For sure.
Just the wildest. Okay.
This is so weird. Okay. All right. I mean, so we're going to start with partnership 1, Chris Walker and Captain Falcon. Now, Chris Walker is someone who held, if I remember correctly, held a normal job at this mental institution, who is unwillingly chosen to be like experimented on and basically loses his
needs some help, needs some support.
Needs some help. Yeah, he loses his mental stability. He is missing a nose. He is, I'm pretty sure, naked the whole time, and kind of covered in blood. So very specific individual kind of seeking that kind of partnership, I feel like. Someone who just really likes Halloween. You know what I mean? And then, of course, we have And then we have Captain Falcon, which I don't know. Ryan, do you know a whole lot about Captain Falcon?
I know he drives a fast vehicle and loves to race.
Yes.
That's the extent of what I know about Captain Falcon. I know nothing else other than that.
He's like a bounty hunter, I think, too.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
I think so. I'm pretty sure.
That would make sense. Like where they race and they hunt folks. Okay. All right.
Ryan, can I try something really fast?
I would love to see how what tale you're gonna weave to bring these together.
Actually, it's not even that.
Okay.
I just want to do things super random, and I would like you to just tell it to me straight. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, here goes. Falcon Punch.
That's pretty good. That was
pretty good. Okay, I just wanted to say it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You want to be able to do it. Yeah.
All right, thank you. Yeah.
Of course.
Everyone else is rolling. If anyone else out there thinks they can do it better, please shoot your shot.
Let's see it.
Let me hear it. Yeah, let me hear it. Right, call me, and only say Falcon Punch.
If you do a great
We'll play
job
those.
and you consent, we'll even like add it as a sound clip at the end of an episode somewhere.
100%. Oh my
if
god,
it's,
that's
if
great.
it's a great job, yeah.
Yes, call in, leave a voicemail, or send a voice memo or something. That'd be sweet.
Yeah.
I'll play all of them. 100% I will. I swear it right now. I will play all the ones we get before the episode releases. I will put them out there.
Yeah.
Or actually, probably after, because no one's going to hear this until after the episode.
Right,
No,
exactly.
the
It would
next
be in like a
episode.
next episode. Yeah. We'll make
The
sure
next,
to
you have a month. You have a month
Yeah.
from when this goes out to write in, or to write in. Right, they just write in Falcon Punch. I don't see this working.
Okay,
Ryan.
here-
I see this.
Hold on,
Yeah.
Eric. Here's the situation. This is the question. Does Captain Falcon seem like the type of person who would like to spend time helping somebody else, be a better version of themselves, or do you think they'd ready to, like? Situation is, bounty goes out, Captain Falcon has to hunt down Chris Walker, finds them, like, lost in this terrible situation. Is Captain Falcon the type of individual to say, hey, you look like you need help, let me try and help you? And that is not a great place to form a relationship ever, because you're not on a level playing field. It just, you're
Yes.
not in a good, like, that's doomed to fail. But,
Yes.
do you think that puts it higher than a 0? That's really all we're looking for here. Is this like a 0.5 or a 0.25? Because I don't think anything higher than that's going to work.
I don't. I see Chris Walker charging at Captain Falcon, and he just Falcon punches him
Yeah.
off the stage, so to speak. I see. Yeah, 100% this is 0. Chris Walker can't even like process any emotions,
Yeah.
let alone try to have a relationship. So like, I just don't. So story goes, you can't see this. Unfortunately, Ryan wrote 0 stars and then all caps Falcon Punch. Rightfully so. I think that's just how it's going to go. And Captain Falcon just gives me the vibe that he's someone who just is not going to commit. He's going to just be racing and hunting and just, you know what I mean? Like he's not going to settle down until he's like in his 50s at least. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah. I just don't see that happening personally.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah. What do you think about relationship number 2, Ryan?
I think this is also book wild. I think it is a weird situation in that, like, Crash Bandicoot is a bit out there. We do know that they're like have been in a relationship before with mixed success. And then with some success, I think they eventually rewrote the character who they were in a relationship with and made them much more interesting and like less interested in Crash Bandicoot, which I think was a good choice. Mm-hmm. But I don't know in a world in which these two come together. I don't know what they bond over. I don't know where they like meet. I don't know what shared interests they have. I just don't know what the thread is holding them together, because not always, but in most situations, the person you form a relationship with is somebody who is like around you at any given time, or you have some type of shared experience, or like some shared anything that you can then bond over and then kind of go from there. I don't know what they're shared. Like Sub-Zero is like a fighter who just fights people, and maybe there's more story there that somebody knows other than me. And Crash Bandicoot is like they just trying to live their life, and this evil scientist is messing with it. So I don't know what the thread is there.
I see Sub-Zero being the downer of this relationship. Crash is trying to have fun, trying to like just have, free flowing, and Sub-Zero's like, I don't want to do that. And then Crash is like, what do you want to do? He's like, fight. Like, who do you want to fight? I want to kill someone. It's like, okay, well, this is like, stupid. You know what I mean? Like, you're a little much. Like, like, and then like, Crash is like, hey, like he wants to like show, like he wants to like try to get Sub-Zero to feel like wanted and needed in a relationship. You know what I mean? Based on his like qualities. And so Crash is like, hey, Sub, because that's his nickname. Yeah. Which seems like not the best nickname.
Or a great nickname depending on the relationship. I don't know you can do when he's young.
He goes, hey Sub, do you want can you give me a solid and put some ice cubes in my drink? I would really appreciate it. And then Sub-Zero goes, is that all I'm good for? And then Crash is like, oh my god, like I'm just trying here, I'm just trying to make this work. I see Sub-Zero being a total downer.
Yeah.
And then like comes home bloody, and Crash is like, what are you doing? And Sub-Zero's like, just another hard day at work. And he's like, what does that mean?
Yeah, like, I froze somebody and then broke them into pieces until they were dead. Yeah. Like maybe like useful in like destroying Crash's nemesis, but even then, like I'm pretty sure they've like worked it out and they're doing okay. Crash and Dr. something. I don't remember his name.
Evil?
No. He's got like Cortex.
Cortex.
Professor Cortex or Dr. Cortex or whatever the heck. I think they've worked it out. I think they're doing okay. I don't know if that's right. His name anyway. But like in other games you can play as him, like in the newest Crash game you play as him sometimes. And I think they worked it out. I think they like had a common thing. So like I don't maybe a fling, but not any more than that would be what I would say.
Yeah. I would give this a 1 star. I don't think it's lasting past a year. I think this is a short-term thing. I don't think either of them would have any kind of like anything, like you're saying, right? Any kind of like thing to kind of base this relationship off, or any kind of like shared interests, or I just don't see it. I don't even see like, then it kind of like just goes into like, I don't know. I just don't see it. I just don't.
Yeah. Doesn't feel like it's gonna have legs to go very far. Yeah, I was thinking like a 0.5 or a 0.25. So
I would, yeah,
yeah.
I'm
Okay,
down
so
for that too.
okay.
Man, these are rough.
Yeah,
rough
I mean these
relationships.
are weird ones, but they're just not shaken out. They're not working out well.
They're not. I you know, right? This next one though, I'm not super down on.
Yeah. I think there might be something there. I think we have seen. Now we know a little bit about Abe and who they are as a person and who they are as a being and what they're trying to do. And in most cases, it's good, even though sometimes they mess up.
Yes, they're clumsy. Yeah,
they're clumsy. They're a bit goofy, but I don't think that to me doesn't feel like a deal breaker for Peach.
No.
In this situation,
I must play Peach likes a project.
Yeah, for sure. And like maybe like likes a little bit of like I think being in Peach's position, they have a lot of power. They have a lot on their plate, and I think they sometimes like to focus on other things. Sometimes would be my guess.
I think so
because they got a lot going on. They're running an entire kingdom. They've got They've got a lot they're handling.
Right. I kind of see. I almost feel like Peach sees the best in people. You know what I mean? Like, I think she looks at Mario, who's like, he's fine, whatever. You know what I mean?
I think Abe and Mario are pretty equivalent in their like ability to communicate and like and move through the world in spaces. I think Abe has said more maybe than Mario in the mainline Mario games. Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah. I almost feel like Abe could be that person that like Princess Peach sees, she's like, what the heck? And then Abe somehow saves the day, and then she sees his worth. Like, I think that's the kind of attraction Peach would have towards Abe. And Abe, I don't know how Abe works with his sexuality, but like, he would probably just he'd probably just go with the flow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It would work. And I think he would grow, I guess, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And I think maybe Abe wouldn't be so hung up on, like, she's a princess in the same way, like, I think Bowser is pretty hung up on the fact that she's a princess. And maybe Mario is, too, because I know Mario is, like out to save princesses in some situations. Not always.
Right.
But I think, like, there's a and this is, like, we are... Doesn't matter. I think there is like a Mario is like putting Peach up on a pedestal in a way that I think Abe will just be like, hey, you seem like a great person, let's just chat. And like Mario's like, you're the princess. Like I think maybe there's like there's a casualness to maybe Abe that I think Peach might appreciate.
Yes, I 100% agree with you. I look at this relationship and I say, you know what? I'm gonna give this I give this a solid 3. I don't know how long it'll go.
Yeah, it'd be Rocky, for sure Rocky at the start.
Yes. Rocky start, maybe a Rocky ending too. Yeah. And Abe is just kind of clumsy, and I don't know how much he can empathize with other people. He saves a lot of his own kind, so yeah, he really does empathize a lot, I think. I don't know where it would go. Yeah. You know what? I want to see 4 now. I can see it going for a while.
Okay. I think we do have to keep in mind that, like, Abe does seem to be similar to Mario, like focused on has other things they need to do. Wants to go save his people. Like his entire people are facing like genocide, and he wants to go stop that. Yeah. And I think Peach might be supportive of that, but might not because they've got their own stuff going on. So I think there could be some challenges there. But I certainly think it's positive. There's some positives.
I think a solid 3 for me sounds right.
Cool. I think 3 sounds great. And we could split the difference with 3.5 if you'd like.
3.5. Let's do it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's roughly 3.5 years. 3 to 4 years. It's a little rocky here and there because communication's a little rough. But overall, they see the value in each other. I think they see the good in each other. I think that's what would really stand out.
Yeah.
So, all right. So with that,
Okay.
we have our 3 finalists.
And we do. The thing is, Eric, is we have numerical values
Yeah,
on
we do.
them. So I don't know how much we want to take that into account, or if we want to reevaluate them in this situation, or if you feel like we've said all we have to say. Like we do have numbers tied to these already.
Do we want to do it where they're in a specific situation, like we've done before?
Oh yeah,
As
we
a-
changed
what
the
is
parameters
hard?
to make it a little more interesting.
How about this, Ryan? Let's make this
Yeah.
episode full circle right here, right now. Full circle. Can I suggest something? You tell me what you think.
Yep.
These 2 individuals in each relationship sit down and play Overcooked together. How well
Yeah.
do they do?
Okay, I love this. I love this so much. This is the most perfect idea we've ever,
Full
you
circle
specifically
moment.
have ever had. This is incredible.
If you don't know Storygoers Overcooked, you really should try it. It's a lot of fun. You just really are making food with other people, and just very specific ways, but it can get very stressful. And if you and if you're trying to get 3 stars in each level, and it's just very, very hard, it can cause a lot of frustration, but it can also cause so much joy and happiness when you can get to where you want to go with it. It really is a relationship tester. I've suggested people play it, and they're like, no, I don't want my relationship to end with this person. I don't want to play this with them. Or they play it and they do great. I've played with my fiance, and we've had arguments about this. And we also have celebrated
highs and lows. Highs and lows.
Yeah, highs and lows. It really is high. It really does test your relationship in a way where, like, it does show how well you communicate with each other, and how can you plan it, how can you do it. So it really is. So okay. So does that sound like a good idea?
I love this so much.
Okay.
Yeah, it is like
Okay.
the perfect encapsulation. Because like relationships, it's easy. I shouldn't say it's easy. It is easier to have a
Yes.
successful relationship when nothing stressful is happening and things are
Yep.
all good. It is much more difficult to have a positive relationship when things are hard, when things are stressful, when you're trying to do things. And that's what Overcooked does, right? It just like forces you to come out of a safe environment and go to something where you are still safe, but there are some stakes. And,
Yes,
and
yes.
I think this is perfect. I love this.
Yes. So we have our first partnership. Honestly, I feel like this all holds up. It's like our first partnership is Zagreus and Travis Touchdown.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you, Ryan. I see these 2 bickering about what they should do.
Yeah,
Who
yeah.
should do what.
Yeah.
I think
Have a
this
hard
is
time
something-
giving. Yeah.
Yes. Hard time letting things go. They want to be like the person that does something
Yeah.
more so, or they want to take the charge. I think they would butt heads quite a lot.
Yeah. For sure.
What do you think about Cal and Cole?
It's hard because I think you have a similar situation where they both are the heroes, but I do think they have, because of their experiences, have had to put trust in other people. At
Yes,
least
yes.
specifically with Cal, I'm sure with Cole too, where they've had to say
Yeah.
this is more than I can take on, and there's I need to rely on others because this is more than I can handle. So I think that learning in itself, if they're able to tap into that, could make it really successful.
I agree. Cole has done great because he has a best friend that kind of is on and off again. Best
Yep.
friends.
Yep.
He's done the best friends choices, but Cole does forgive and forget and move on, and or not forgive and forget, but he does forgive and move on, and he does rely on people to help him.
Yeah.
I see this as Cal and Cole, like maybe they struggle at times, but they come back together and say, listen, here's what I think we should do. What do you think we should do? And they kind of come to terms with what they both think is right.
Yeah.
And then they're efficient that way. I see them actually working pretty well together with this.
And I think Cal, and probably Cole as well, Cal specifically has training to deal with anger and frustration, right? Because that is so important to work through that in a way that it is healthy. That I think there is something there that training is really going to help in working through it. I think it might get hairy in the delegating side of things, and mistakes will happen. But I think they could be pretty successful.
Yeah, I totally agree. And for our last partnership, I feel like Peach would just be running the show, and Abe would be all over the place.
But I do think there's something to be said about Peach is in control. I think Abe's okay with just, you tell me what to do, Peach. I'll do it. I'll do my best, right? I think there's something there.
Do you think he'd be able to understand, though? Do you think he'd be able to get it?
I don't know. I think that's true. I don't know if they'd be understand, but I think there is something too. Peach is, I'm assuming, better at this and is good at managing things from their job and what they do in the world, and is also very good at giving orders. It's just if Abe is able to play them out, and then when a mistake happens, what's Peach's reaction?
So I guess we're looking at it in 2 ways, right? I think can we both agree tell me what you think, Ryan.
Yeah.
That Zagreus and Travis are just not going to make it in this.
I think so too. I think they don't have it as much as the others do.
I agree. Now, I kind of see it in two ways here. We see Cal and Cole, that we both agree are kind of equals in this dynamic, and they kind of give and take, and they talk things out. And then we have Princess Peach and Abe, who it seems like Peach has a little bit more of the control in this relationship and kind of like instructs Abe on how to act and move, because Abe probably wouldn't be able to do that on his own. I guess so we're looking at which one is a healthier partnership in that regard. If they're both successful, which one defines a relationship more?
Yeah. And I guess there's also something to be said, which is the better situation, right? Because I think,
True.
like you're saying, both of these might work, but which is the more healthy and more positive?
Yes. Which one is really in relationship from a relationship standpoint? Which one is the healthier? Which one would you want to have a relationship with? You know, like which one would you want to have a relationship that defines what theirs is? Does that make sense?
Yeah. And I think with that, I think it's pretty clear.
It's pretty clear.
Yeah, I think like the Abe and Peach, they might be able to get through it, but it's because Peach has been bossing Abe around the whole time, and they just haven't messed up. Where it's not an equal situation, and that might work for some relationships, but I don't always know if that's the healthiest in every situation.
I totally agree. I think Cal and Cole would go above and beyond, be supportive, communicate effectively. I think they would do fantastic. I think you agree, Ryan. Does that sound?
I
look at the Google Doc.
Yeah,
Okay,
I think I agree. Yeah, I mean, I just think like these are two individuals who we've seen a lot of growth over the course of their experiences to get them in a place where they could work with another person, they could overcome a challenge, they could give up some control in the situation by trusting another person. And then because they are not perfect, they have dealt with like some pretty traumatic situations and are still working through that, but that doesn't necessarily always get in the way of, and especially in a situation where there are stakes, but it is not life or death, because I think in life or death situations, or when things are like really personal, they might make mistakes that are more intense. But if we're looking at the Overcooked challenge, I think they're going to be willing to let it roll. They're not super competitive. They're not like you know what I mean. I think it would work well.
Yeah, I think you just put it absolutely perfect. So with that, our official winners are, the best relationship we have right now is Cal Kestis and Cole McGrath. Cal is the second-time winner of our character wheel.
Yeah, what a champion.
I think the first time... Oh, actually, I won't say. You should go listen to our other character wheels and find them. But we should probably go send... Respawn? No, who makes...
Respawn.
Respawn? Who makes the Jedi Survivor? It's EA.
Yeah, but I think it's Respawn.
I think it's Respawn. We'll send Respawn a plaque.
Yeah.
And they'll say, "What the heck is this?"
What is this nonsense? Yeah. We'll send them a very nice, like a nice wooden metal plaque that they can hang up in their office, and they'll have no context.
Yes, no context at all. They'll reach out. We'll not talk to them.
No comment. Yeah.
No comment.
Yeah.
So listen to
the episode as our response. Yep. Yeah.
And they better only send us one response, and it should be Falcon Punch. And then you let us know how you do. Respond with Storygoers, thank you for listening to this whole episode. Tell us what you think. Who was the best couple? Do you disagree wholeheartedly? Would Captain Falcon and Chris Walker make it work? I don't know. But let us know what you think. talesfromthecartridge@gmail.com. All the E's are 3's. Also find us on our Instagram or Spotify, or leave us a voicemail or text at 207-494-4334. Rate us if you want to. Donate to our Patreon if you would be so inclined for just $1. We have to go watch Spider-Man. So
gotta watch Spider-Man, y'all.
Yeah, go watch Spider-Man. It's gonna be great. I'm sure it'll be great. Next episode we're gonna come up like, wow, that sucked.
That was terrible.
So bad. No. Storygoers, stay happy, stay healthy. Thank you for listening again, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Bye.
Bye.